I don't know what's happening in Loudoun County, but it is absolutely out of control. This government is out of control. I'm talking about the county government under the direction of the school board. Yesterday, they were more than two people stood up and came for the public comment section during the meeting, and it was focused on a new school district policy regarding restroom accommodations and the use of pronouns for transgendered students. Well, a lot of people wanted to speak their mind. The school board didn't want to hear them. They claimed that this whole assembly was just out of order, and they arrested a couple of people. By the way, if you're arrested, do not resist arrest. Do not give the media footage of you fighting against police officers. You've got to remember Martin Luther King. We have to be happy warriors. And if they're going to arrest you, fine. Arrest me all you want. I am not going to behave the way your people behave. I'm speaking out. I have the Constitution on my side. And as long as I continue to do the right thing, you know what? I'm happy with the consequences. I'm not going to be silenced in the face of evil. I will stand. I will speak. I think that parents have had enough. When you're coming after our children, you've crossed the line. And all of this fascistic stuff of trying to, for instance, in Loudoun County, where they are, the county attorney is part of the problem. When the county attorney is on a Facebook page encouraging people to dox the parents and the children of those who are against CRT, you've got a problem. That is not America. That's not the way we work. And if these school boards and local officials, if they want people to be kind and proper and not call them Benito Mussolini, then they should stop acting like it. You don't have the right to shut people down. You don't have the right to do it behind our backs. In Texas, that's why two people did lose their job. In fact, two people went to jail because they had memos going back and forth saying, look, the public is never going to understand this. Let's just do this. We can get through the public meetings. Let's just do this quietly. Well, that's against the law, and they went to jail. And so should anyone else. You may not be able to have the power to affect things nationally, you think. But I'm telling you, you have the power to change things locally, and that is the most important thing you can possibly do. Right now, the media is on this kick of saying that, no, we don't. The CRT isn't even being taught. It's just these conspiracy people. It's just all these people, these right-wing fanatics, these fascists on the right. I want you to listen to a 1943 pamphlet that was written for the communists in America on how to deal with dissent. See if this rings a bell.
In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, "When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable buildups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind."
This is happening in two ways. They are calling us fascist, white supremacist, etc., and it is becoming a reality in the mind of the everyday person that is not involved. They're seeing us now. The government is saying there's a threat. It's white supremacist. At the same time, they're saying these are extremists right-wing zealots, a.k.a. white supremacists, that are against critical race theory. And they're saying it over and over and over again, and it is becoming reality for a lot of people. That is why you must never, ever be seen being out of control. I don't think that guy was out of control because he had his facts in hand, and he knew exactly what he wanted to say, and he said it. He said it forcefully, but he said it. But we can't ever look out of control, because that's what they're doing. They're smearing us, just like that 1943 pamphlet said. That's what they're doing to us. At the same time, they're using that same tactic in reverse. They are repeating things that are lies to make them true. And the more you hear it, the more it becomes true. That's why you must never, at work or anywhere else, say the things that you know are not true. Do not go along with the CRT that's being jammed down your throats at school or at work. Your job may depend on you just sitting through one of those things and being quiet. But your children's lives and your freedom, the freedom of the entire world, is at stake if you do. Because the more you say it, the more you repeat it, the weaker you become and the stronger that becomes. They are now starting to use this lie that CRT is not really even happening in our schools. It is. And you know who's going to stop it? In the end, it will be those who fear God. Last night, I kept falling asleep. I was trying to read my scriptures, and I had such a prompting to read the scriptures. And I kept falling asleep. And in the middle of the night, I woke up, read your scriptures. And so I did. And I happened to be at a really important place. Corinthians chapter 1. And I went back and I was reading it, and I knew I was supposed to tell you this today. Unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see your calling, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are being called. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So what does this mean? Don't sit down. Do not believe the lie that you're alone, that you don't have any power. You're being called. The noble, the mighty, the great, they're not being called. Why? Because they have already been called, and they're called to the other side. It's going to be the foolish things, the weak things, the things that you think can't do anything. They'd have no power. What are we going to do? It's the weak things that are being called by God. Recognize your calling and stand. Stand with all the love and the power that comes from knowing who God is and knowing that God is a lover of truth. I can't tell you I know the truth of all things, but I do know the truth of things like CRT. Anything that teaches that an individual can never make it is evil. Anything that denies the power of redemption is evil. Anything that says all people of this category are like this, or people are guilty of the things they didn't do, but their ancestors did, that's evil. Now, the mighty and the wise are pushing that down our throats. Be glad you're part of the foolish and those who are called weak, because we know the truth. We are neither of those things, and God will prevail.